Hi, my name is Adam Paulin. I'm the founder and CEO of Thin Ice Inc. As a former NCAA athlete and personal trainer, I know how hard it is to fit weight loss into your day. While studying health sciences at the University of Toronto, I was actually able to come up with a product that'll help you lose weight throughout the day without having to change your behaviors. Thin Ice is the first wearable weight loss technology. It actually uses cold temperatures to achieve this, which you can adjust via our Bluetooth app. This causes your body to rev up its metabolism to generate heat, which keeps you comfortably warm, but also produces weight loss effects. This is not only relevant to the $70 billion a year weight loss industry in the US, but also the fast emerging wearable tech industry. We've also identified sales opportunities with the police stations and the armies, which are mostly interested in the cooling effects for their personnel. Finally, we've sold 5,000 units through pre-order on Indiegogo, which really demonstrates the consumer interest in Thin Ice.
Welcome to today's Power Pitch. I'm Melissa Lee. You just saw Adam's pitch. Now let's meet the panel. Joining us from Seattle is angel investor Nat Burgess. With us on set is startup advisor and angel investor Alicia Surratt and venture capitalist Nir Lieberboy. All right, we heard Adam's pitch. You're in the hot seat. Nat, the first question goes to you.
What I heard was an intriguing product. What I didn't hear was a business that you're going to build around it. And for that reason, I'm giving the pitch a C. And really, building a business in this space, I think your primary challenge is going to be, if it works, you're going to have Nike or Under Armour come in with a multi-million-dollar budget. And my question to you is, how are you going to defend market space? How are you going to beat them long term?
We do have a provisional patent on the actual heat dissipation methods involved in the device, because we're pumping heat away from the body with this technology. And we've actually found a way to very consistently dissipate that underneath clothing to allow people to wear it throughout their days. So it does make a very big difference to have that aspect to it, and that's protected now.
Alicia.
Well, I actually thought there was a lot of good information in the pitch with the product, your background, the sales strategy, the crowdfunding sales, market size. I didn't hear anything about competitive advantage, though, so I will give you a B+. So I've read that the heavier that you are, the less cold therapy works for you. Now, does that mean that the people who likely want your product the most, it'll be least effective for?
The great part about cold therapy is over time, you can actually increase the amount of tissue in your body. So different people who have moved from climates that are warm to cold, they can actually demonstrate scientifically that there's an increase in this active tissue that's keeping them warm. So as you use the device, just like if you exercise, you gain muscle. In this case, you're going to gain that active tissue, and over time, you'll see more and more results.
I thought you did a nice job talking about your background and why you started the company, but there were a number of missing pieces for me, such as pricing, retail strategy, competitive landscape, so I gave your pitch a B. I imagine the FTC or FDA is going to regulate the term weight loss. How does this impact where you launched or how you launched?
So up until now, we've definitely focused on the online space, especially crowdfunding, where regulations are obviously a lot more gray. We have a product that's not done yet, so the validation is clearly going to be in the future. One of our big steps is to do a clinical trial of our own to start to see some of the results we've seen from other literature that's focused on ice vests over the last 50 years.
Okay, so Adam, you actually brought the vest here. I got to try it on because we got to see how this thing feels and how cold it actually gets.
I can adjust the temperature up and down.
Why is this more effective than just lowering the thermostat?
It focuses specifically on parts of the body that have a lot of thermoreceptors. So instead of you having to cool down your whole body to start to see these results, you can focus on specific parts of the body and still see results without having to be cold all over the place.
Right. Nat, next question to you.
You sold 5,000 of these through your crowdfunding. What is the single most important thing that you learned from those early customers?
I think that the most interesting aspect of crowdfunding is you learn the different ways that people plan to use the product. And I think that the cooling effects really surprised us in terms of how many people are excited strictly about those. So that really opened up a huge market for us. We actually got reached out to by police forces in different continents. And those type of consumers who are interested in the cooling effects really gave us an idea of what we had from that aspect.
And I have to say that wearing I can feel myself get cooler. Okay, so we heard what Adam had to say. Now we want to know if the panel is in or out. So Nat, what do you say?
Well, Adam, crowdfunding is interesting. It lets you shortcut a lot of the steps that a traditional investor would ask you to take. And as a more traditional investor, I think having 5,000 people buy it is less interesting than having the clinical trials and the independent validation that it really does work for the stated purpose. And for that reason, I'm out.
Alicia, in or out?
What this company has going for it is there's clearly immense consumer demand. I mean, who doesn't want to lose weight without basically doing anything? But with that said, I would really need to see direct research for this product specifically to really judge its effectiveness. And until I see that, unfortunately, I'm out.
Nir?
I think the technology is really interesting and that plenty of consumers will actually buy the product, but I'm worried that there's not enough research to back the claims. And as an investor, I want to see more retail and revenue traction. So for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, so 3 outs. Adam, what's your reaction?
I know that a lot of the feedback was based on the weight loss effects, and I think we've got a massive secondary market that we can definitely penetrate in the meantime. And I hope to demonstrate some traction soon.
Okay, our thanks to Adam Paulin of Thin Ice and to our panelists Nat, Alicia, and Nir, and that is today's Power Pitch.